Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming to our LinkedIn program, The Basics, that with Susan Rooks, who's the grammar goddess. And you have to watch her, follow her on LinkedIn because she has a word every day, what it means and how it's used. And sometimes they're hysterical, but you think, that's a word? And her Friday funnies are, I love them. She has probably 10 or so different screens, screenshots and things that really are great. So, and they get you thinking. So anyway, Susan is one of the 1% on LinkedIn that has followers, many followers. What are the stats on that, Susan? I don't remember.
I have just under 61,000
But that's
followers.
great. But it's also the fact that they interact with you, isn't that it?
Now the numbers always sound good, but I probably have 500 that literally not that many every week, but they rotate. But
Yeah.
on a given day, I maybe pick up 20, 30, 40 comments. And
Yeah.
honestly, I don't want more than that because that's all I would end up doing.
Right, because you have to respond. Yeah.
But I do have 61,000 just under. And at least that gives me credibility when I say I know something about LinkedIn.
Yeah, you do. So anyway, we're gonna swap screens, share screens. Let's see, I'm gonna do this. I think
Yeah, I
that's
think you
right.
have to make me a co-host or some.
Oh, that's, yeah, yeah. There we go.
We had this with another person the other
Yeah,
day. We
yeah.
spent 20 minutes trying to figure that out.
I know.
And I don't know this
So,
stuff. This is not my. I don't do tech. She
okay,
knows.
so I'm gonna give you the hosting. So there you go.
Okay, and I will share. I will in a moment. But I just wanted to say thanks for being here. LinkedIn to me has been a godsend. I joined in the second year of LinkedIn, which was they just had their 20th anniversary. I've been on LinkedIn for 18 years.
Wow.
I did nothing for about 10. I didn't know what to do, and there weren't any experts to ask back in the day. So, I just muddled through and I figured out a couple of things, but I really didn't go and I might have had 1,000 followers in 10 years, maybe. But a guy named John White, MBA, and he's another one I want you to follow, found me because his mother was an English teacher and he saw something I put out on English or grammar or something, wanted to talk to me about it. We became good buddies, but he was way ahead of me. He knew this stuff. He's a brand expert. He knows how to help you with social media, all of that. He's got 350,000 followers on 2 or 3 different platforms added together. I beat him on LinkedIn because I focused on it. But he's now going to try to catch up. Good luck, John. But you know what? You don't have people helping you learn. It's hard to do it. And this is when LinkedIn was in its young days. Today, what I'm going to be showing you, you may go on somebody's profile and think, that looks different from what Susan showed me 2 days ago. Yeah, they probably updated their profile. Or LinkedIn updated something. I can't guarantee that every single thing will be exactly as you see it today. It'll be very close, and the ideas will still be there. But the physical look may not be, because I can't tell you that somebody didn't say, oh, my banner, I don't like it anymore. I think I should do something with that. Susan won't care. She won't even know. So it's a 2-part program, and we'll do both parts today because we have a very small group, and it'll probably be 45, 50 minutes total. You can always come back to me with a question. This is free. This is my pay it forward, because so many people out there have helped me learn how to handle this. And this is how I've gotten most of my clients in the last 10 years, thanks to John White's, you will, by God, go do that. Oh, okay, I'll do that. So let's see if I can figure this part. This is always the fun part. Share screen, because she knows I am not what you would call an expert on this. I'm going to share a screen. I got to go find it now. Where is it? Share. Okay, and then I got to go find the thing, which is on my, here. Come on, this is where I do not look smart. Desktop, okay, yeah, come on, can I have my desktop, please? Desktop, thank you. Oh, son of a gun. Yay, okay. This is it. So, I always do this with all of mine because I want people to know who is hosting. I'm grateful because this is very helpful for me and for anyone that's going to be with me. But here's my beginning. If we don't know why we're on LinkedIn, we're probably going to muddle You know the old idea, if you build it, they will come? Bullpucky. Doesn't work that way. But you do have to know why you're there. Are you looking for clients? Are you looking to learn things from people? Are you looking to teach people, to help people? Do you just want to know somebody down in Croatia, if you can find it on a map? I just did a book with an author from Croatia. I had no idea what Croatia was. Now I do. I don't think I need to know that, but at least I know. Who are you? What's your expertise? Your unique selling proposition. Why should anybody give a rat's rump about you? And that's what we're going to talk about in both parts, is why. Because right now there are something like 970 million profiles on LinkedIn. That does not mean there are 970 million users. It just means that's the number of profiles. It's stunning how many are, there's nothing happening. There's nothing colored, nothing filled in. It's like a placeholder in case I ever get around to doing something kind of thing. But that's still a lot of people, even if it's 1% useful. So what are you looking for? What kind of connections? Why? Do you want to help them to learn something? Do you want to learn from them? Do you want to collaborate with people? How so? Where? How? Why? I love the word why, because if I know why, then I can help people. But if I don't, I have no choice. And if you're not already, are both of you on LinkedIn, Courtney, Helene?
Yes.
Okay. I've had groups where a couple of people said, no, not yet. Well, that's fine. But what's stopping you? I didn't know how to do it. I can understand that, I promise. So questions to think about. Most important one, I think, is this: what do you expect to gain from it? Me, I love the collaborations. I love knowing people all over the world. I've got connections everywhere. And it's interesting to me. So things to think about. Okay, the part one, and I always use my little guy up here in the corner because I think he's funny. And I want people, as Pam mentioned, I do a lot of humorous things on LinkedIn because I am an editor. And the word editor scares the crap out of a lot of people out there. They're not sure what that means, but it's like, oh, she's got to tell me what I got to do. No, I'm different. I have fun with things, but I try for that and other ways. There's a banner. That's the very top part of all LinkedIn profiles. Your picture, the headline, and all of the other parts of it. These groups at the bottom, I don't go into because you can figure them out on your own. Honestly, they're not that special. If you want to put your education in, fine. Volunteer experience, I think that's worth putting in because sometimes I've linked to someone who's also part of Habitat for Humanity, one of the few I support wholeheartedly. So kind of thing, skills and endorsements, you can figure that part out. This is what we're going to talk about today. Okay, and by the way, every human that I show you knows they're in here. I did not do this without telling them or asking them, are you okay? Because Amy's, obviously, I'm showing you what I don't want you to do, but she knows that. And if you go to her profile, you're still going to see, it might have gone to the blue or the gray one, because I don't know how LinkedIn decides on the color. And I don't know why they picked 3 colors. No idea. But that's what the default one is, which means the first thing we see is nothing. It's free advertising space. There's an exact size. And you can go to Canva. Canva, there's a link right there. Because you can figure it out if you can use, I can't use Canva to save my life, but other people easily. Yeah, I look at it and go, yeah, thanks. I use Microsoft Publisher. I can do it. I just can. I don't care how you do it, but there should be something up there that says, ooh, versus 975 million profiles. And she still hasn't changed it. Cracks me up. Find something appropriate. Now, let me just see my next one here. No, what I want to also mention here, and I'll do it 2 or 3 times, your information should be over to the right. The picture placement is fixed. You can't change that. We're stuck with it on the left on a desktop. On some of the other kinds of phones, it might have moved over a little towards the middle, but you don't have the chance to move it left or right. So for goodness sake, don't put important information out to the left. No one will ever see it. Shove it over to the right. I don't care if it's not centered. I'd rather read the few words that you might think we should read versus not being able to see them. Now, Amy Blashka, God, do I love her. Oh, do I love her. She has done another one. This is not the most recent, but I like it. It's colorful. It's bright. It's fun. I want people to see. And I'd suggest if you have a few minutes in the next week or so, go check out some of the people that I'm showing you just to see what they might have done differently, because I change my banner once a year. I look at it and I say one day, you know, I could do even better. I could do something different. This is fine, but doesn't work for me. But she has a lot of good information. She's got color. She's got just good color stuff. You have to kind of look AB. Well, it makes sense. Amy Blaschka. Why not? But I think her new one is even better than this one. Now, there's a bell, and I don't know, because we're doing on this, I wouldn't be able to see it here. If you're following someone, if that's what you're doing, if you've clicked follow on someone's profile, you will then see a little white bell in the top right corner of the profile, but you must follow them first. If you want to see their content when they put it out, click the bell. It'll turn black, which means now you should, quotes, should, LinkedIn, you never know, get their information quickly. It should come to you. You should be seeing what they put out for content, but you have to follow them first. That's something new, by the way. You used to be able to just click the bell, but you won't see it if you don't follow them. So you'll see the word follow somewhere on it. This young woman cracked me up when I saw this 2 years ago, 3 years ago now. She's changed it. I'm not changing it. I want people to understand that LinkedIn is not a resume. It is professional, but it's not puffy and, oh, I'm so professional, I can't even laugh at anything. No, be human. She wrote in there, 2020, very boring and no toilet paper, would not recommend. I saw that and I thought, I don't even know who she is. We've now connected. I'm now a first degree. And back 3 years ago when I got this, notice where the little bell is? It's up here now somewhere, but that's okay. I thought that was just hysterical. Her new one is fine, but leaves me cold. But that's not my job to teach her. She's okay, but having fun. Another old one. I wouldn't get rid of this for anything. I want you to see this. He was a coach then. He's changed his profession. So I get it. He's changed his banner. Notice how this is a hand. People are running. They fall through unless they have a coach to catch them. Oh my gosh, who can deliver them safely into success. I saw that and I thought, damn, David, that is so good. It's visual, and I love visual. I love clever. So this is what you get when you see, well, this is what you used to get. The new one's fine again. Leaves me cold. I collect clever. I get a lot of joy out of seeing how people can use this kind of thing. Yeah, new banner. Pity. All right, now, I have to show you sometimes my stuff because there's a public face that I can see, but I can see my own behind the scenes. You can't. I can't see your behind the scenes either. So it's not about me showing you me because I'm me. It's me showing you me because in order to show you how to do things behind the scenes, the only one I can show you is me. So if you want to change the banner, on yours, you will see when you click at the top the word me and you get your own banner, your own profile. There's a little pencil up at the top right. You click on that and you get a space and it says, hey, fill me in. This is where you could have previously created a banner. You click on it, you throw it in there, and then you say save. And it works. I change it about once a year. So I used to put the covers of the books that I was working on, but I had somebody come to me and say, Susan, you worked on my book and you didn't put my cover up. Oh. Every one of us has a little 8-year-old inside saying, where am I there? I don't see me there. You know that. I decided I didn't want to do that way anymore. It wasn't fair. And besides, I got 50 books in 10 years, and I can't put 50 covers up there. And I've also done very few lately. So if you want to change the stuff at the bottom, see the other little pencil? That's when you can change this. You click, and it comes up for you. And then you fill it in. And please do think about, what do you want people to know quickly? That's what all of this under here is about. We'll talk about that again in a minute. But what the first things you want people to see? I've changed mine about 10 times. There's my new banner because I've branched out. I do training. I do training on American grammar. I do it on DISC. Thank God for Disc. Man, do I love that program. And then LinkedIn Profile Basics. Hey, hello. This is what I want people to see. Now, notice the top of it. It's not behind my picture. I want you to see that. If it's behind my picture, nobody will ever see it. All my stuff is right edge. No matter what device we're looking at, the right edge, the words will be seen. In the middle, maybe, maybe not. And on the left, no way in hell. It's not going to happen. So be very conscious of that as you're putting your banner together, because this is really your business card. This is saying, hey, look at me. Please read what I wrote. This is my new created. And I think I've actually added, I added something this morning. I'm not going to change this again for this. But I put little colored things in between. You can use the black little line thing. You can do anything you want here. They give you them. They give you the emojis to use. I would say use all the same ones in all of them, because otherwise it gets a little confusing. But this is how you show people who you are and what you want them to know quickly, enough so that they say, ooh, I should keep looking at this one. This one is good. Does that make some sense? This is your first chance. You know that first impression? So at the top and over on the right-hand side, you'll be able to see this one. We all go away. Unfortunately, we have people here, but I give you some descriptions on the right side too. I don't know if you can see them. I can't. Okay, good.
Again, yeah.
Yeah. So your picture, it's supposed to be of you. Now, if you're a veterinarian, I can imagine you maybe holding a dog or a cat, but make it you. We want to know who we're talking with, who we're going to be interacting with. I've got people that put skylights and they put this and they put that, or they put their whole family. Well, if they're not, family isn't all part of LinkedIn, why? What are they showing there? Most of the time, I want to see you. And my own picture is not done professionally. I was on Zoom one day and I was waiting for something and I saw myself on and I went, I'm going to take a screenshot of myself. I look pretty good right there. That's how I use my picture. It was one of the rare ones. At my age, I'm grateful for anything that looks good. But you got Melissa. Do I love her? Oh my gosh, she's so brainy. You do want to follow her. If you like learning about what goes on up in here physically, she brings it down to our level of understanding. I did one of her books, the second one. She is wonderful, but its placement is preset. I've seen it on a couple of other phones where it's like maybe here, but that still means you don't want to have words there. You'd waste your space, and you don't get a whole lot of space, so the heck. Over to the right. One of my best friends in real life. In real life, not just online. When I was in BNI years ago, she came into one of our meetings and she was so funny and so human. I just said, I gotta know this woman. I have no idea who she is, but I have to go meet her. And we become best friends. She lives about 4 towns away. Love her to pieces. Look, fun, pure fun. She's the reason I'm an editor. I edited her something for her one year. I thought I was helping a friend. The second year, she said, I wrote another book and you edit it the way you did the first one. What did I do? You edited it. Oh, I had not even thought of that. I thought I was just helping a friend. Funny how life works, isn't it? So you can have a funny picture, a happy picture. You can do whatever expresses you in a nice way. She lives in Millis. Love her to pieces. Smart woman. I just put this guy in because you can put a video. Don't ask me how. You have to go to Jillian for that. She's one of the people you'll meet through this. I don't do videos ever. But I happen to be, I call it rabbit hole diving. I was going from this profile to this profile to this profile because I was finding something interesting and I had a few minutes. I don't even know who he is. But I clicked on this. Something drove me to click it. And he's got the best damn video that has nothing to do with him that I've ever seen. You gotta go find it. It was really funny. But a lot of people do it. Hi, I'm Susan Rooks, the Grammar Goddess, and I just wanted you to know, fine. You can do that. I wouldn't want you to do it right away. I'd want you to get more organized, but his was phenomenal. I kid you not. So this is how I find things to put on to show. Love it. for the cleverness. And that's all I'm going to tell you. Okay, the headline down here. Again, a dear friend. I am first degree connections with her, and she has, last I checked, 295,000 followers. But we've been buddies because we bonded over dogs. I have dogs. She teaches you about dogs. She helps people with their dogs. She helps with all kinds of dog problems and issues and whatever. But this is what she wrote because she wants you to know what she does. And I've told her twice she's got to get rid of the second dot. You can only have one or three. You can't have two. But love her to pieces, and she's worth knowing, especially if you do have dogs or have ever had dogs. But she's charming. But you'll have to just follow her. I don't know how we became first degree connections. I don't know. But this is your headline. Make it count. Heather Younger. I worked on her book years ago. Another one. And I think this is her latest. I won't swear to it. I went through the program and tried to bring up most of the latest ones, but she may have rewritten it again. I don't know. But at least you know what she does. She teaches you about LinkedIn, among many other things. Her biggest deal is workplace culture. She's a rabid dog on, for goodness sake, would you make your workers happier to be here? Here's how you can do it. Boom, 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 boom. She's quite remarkable. Somebody you might want to follow. And notice, so the book's behind her face, but all her words, where are they? Over here, you can see them. Now, they're a little small, but on the screen, without being here, you'd be able to read them much more easily. Now, here's the extra value. And I adore Fred. I don't even know how to say his last name. Keenly, I think. He is hysterically funny. He calls everybody lady or sir. I don't know why. It's just a shtick. He has fun with it. But when you share an article, notice what people see. That first line of your headline. They don't just see that Fred shared it. They see he's an author, keynote, motivational speaker, entertainer, yada, yada, yada. When I shared it, you find out I can help you look sound as smart as you are, which is my tagline. And that's, I think, what I still have there. I'm not even sure. But that's an important thing to consider. It goes beyond the obvious looking at your own profile. When you comment or you share and people see it, they see the first line of what you wrote. That's the one that counts. So it's very, very important to decide, who are you? The first line of your headline. You with me on this? Up and down, up and there we go. Yeah. Okay, the next section is called the About section. And a lot of folks think this is your resume. I will come and hurt you if you put a resume up there. I really will. We want to work with humans. We want to know who you are as a human. Now, right now we have 2,600 characters, meaning letters, numbers, and spaces. That's a lot. It's amazing. I'd say please do use it, but check out a bunch of other people's before you finalize yours. See what they wrote. See what grabbed you. See what you were drawn to. I would ask you, please, write in the first person means you don't say your own name does something. If I were writing in the third person, it would be Susan Rooks does this. I am Susan Rooks, the last I checked. It's perfectly okay to say I. Or you could start with just a verb if you're uncomfortable with using the word I too many times. But please don't set a wall between yourself and the readers by using your name and saying Courtney does this. I mean, come on, give me a break. You are Courtney. It's fine to say what you do in the first person. In mine, I did this deliberately. Have you ever written pubic when you meant public? Orgasm when you meant organism? Or manger when you meant manager? I'm an editor. I see this stuff. This is where I go. And I've had a lot of writers say to me, you cracked me up. I had to keep reading. That was my goal. I wanted them to keep reading. And I was humorous about it. And they loved it. It works for my particular specialty. Doesn't mean you have to do it that way, but I wanted to grab them and say, keep reading, folks. Maybe I can help you someday. Maybe we could work. Tell a story. Show how you work. Give an example here and there. What are the reasons somebody should link with you? What do you do that would help them? Where are their pain points? What can you say about things that you help them do? And again, there's an arrow. Well, can't see it behind here, but to the top right, there's always a little arrow, a little pencil, and I put the arrow there for you. Because this is your resume rethought. Featured section. This is for people who do create content. Now, not everybody creates original content, and that's fine. You can do very well by only commenting on other people's posts. Trust me on this. There's no rule that says you must create original content, meaning a post or a bigger article that you can do behind the scenes. You don't have to. But for those who do, there's a featured section because maybe something you wrote a year ago, you still think was one of the best things you've written to describe what you do, who you are, yada, yada, yada. You put it in here, you drag it up. And if this works for you, I can always show you how to. But Jonathan, the ethical lexicon, I mean, grappling with the gray is his tag. And I can't tell you how many times I have said, this is such a Jonathan's grappling with the gray situation because very little is black and white. Not to most of us. Most of us have shades of gray in a situation. Yeah, but. He is remarkable in how he can help you recognize that you need to be thinking more deeply about some things. I love him to pieces. He's a rabbi. But if you wrote something a month ago and you thought, oh, I'd love people to see that fast. Well, they won't because it's tucked away somewhere in my other articles. You can throw it up front. I have 6 or 8 of them. That's it. I change them out occasionally. I want them to see on the top of my profile. So again, the featured section is this. Come on, go down. Come on. Oh, thank you, machine. Jeff Ickler, another guy, he had a couple of them. Again, somebody really good. People, if I don't like them, they're not in this show. I do like Jeff a lot. But, how do you land on an asteroid? It was a really good article he wrote, but he wrote it back a couple of years. And he threw it up front because he's proud of it. Sure, why not? Come on, machine. All right, this is the thing that happened this morning. Well, this is what the change is. The analytics, which I don't really use much, but they used to be in the middle of the profile. About 2 months ago, LinkedIn, in its infinite wisdom, threw them up top. By the way, nobody ever announces this. One day you'll look at your own profile and say, wait a minute, whoa, what's that doing there? LinkedIn does not put out a big 975 million people. By the way, we just changed this. They don't do that. You look at it one day and think, okay. I clicked on that this morning and it told me I had to get out of my creator mode in order to see what was in that. Don't ask. I don't know. And neither does Jeff. He hopes it's just a glitch. Sometimes there are glitches. I'll find out later this morning and I'll keep clicking until. But this gives you a chance to see when you can. Come on, machine. This kind of information. Post impressions. How many times did one of your articles get at least looked at quickly in somebody's feed? The one I wanted to look at was the profile views. 1,094 in the last 90 days looked at my profile. I like to see, did that change? I even more want to see who. Right now, that isn't showing up. I can't explain it. I like checking it out. I don't get hysterical. And this 60,863 is now 60,982 or something. This is a couple of weeks ago. But I like to see what's going on. I don't obsess over it. It's not worth it. But you can at least find out if this is going to show up today. But I don't know. You can also see, you can track your back, see how much of it's changing, and maybe on a certain day. John White, the guy that got me, put me in a Texas newspaper front page, an article about me. God help us. And all of a sudden, this little area right here is up here because an awful lot of people saw that. Okay, I'm a star. Yippee. I don't even, the Texas something, I don't even know what it was, but you can see it if it matters. You can see who. You do want to follow Britt Crawford. If you like dad jokes, DAD, dad jokes, funny puns, follow him every morning. He is hysterical. 5 or 6 of them. I get such a kick out of him. He keeps them all in a database. DADDA. I mean, I love him to pieces. Stella works in Oman, but she's British. Go figure the odds on that. Love her. Him, I have no idea who he is. But he looked at me. Whoopee. I go check these people out. You never know. There might be somebody interesting. And then the last section on this part, what time is it? 9:06. Okay. Here's Jeff Young. Now, see the blue ribbon? That's to show you, I want you to follow him for LinkedIn information. He is tremendous. He goes deeper. I do the basics. He got the dives. He finds out how, why, where, when. He's remarkable. And he puts out a newsletter. It's free. You get it once a week. It's free. And it's always good to have if you like this. I get more than he does because he's not pushing it. I crack up with that, but he is remarkable. Now, the other person, Jillian Whitney, I don't know if I have her. I think I have her, but the blue ribbon, I want you to follow him. He's fabulous. Who's this? Oh, there's my buddy, John White. Ah, there we go. Yeah, there's John. That's the guy that got me started here. Again, I think I'm beating him too. Yeah, he's gonna top me over that. He's going to. But you can see all the activity up here. If you want to see what article someone wrote, or you want to see their posts, or you want to see some documents, you click those. Anything like that is clickable, and you might as well just explore and see what you're finding that you're interested in looking at other times. Articles are longer than posts. Posts are held to about 1,200 characters. Articles can go on for 4 days if you really want them to. I don't recommend it. There's no reason not to. You can keep going. It's just a different way of putting it out there. I've pretty much done posts now for the last year. They're shorter, simpler, get them said, get them moving on. Here's the biggest thing. Oh, there's Jillian. Ah, there's the other one. If you want to learn how to do videos, you go to her. And she helps you for free. The way we do, we pay it forward. She's quite remarkable. I'm never going to do a video. I don't like looking at myself. Not like that. Ain't happening. But what I want you to see is if you're going to comment, please don't direct them to your page. Too many people say, look at what I just wrote in a comment. No, if you're commenting on someone's article or post, it needs to be about what you saw the person write. So you've got John Asperian. Thanks for the shout out, John. Happy to answer any questions. Jane Hanford, you are so right. I mean, all of these things, she's commenting back to people who commented on nice things for her. Please be sure. And I'll tell you about tagging this section or the next section. But you want people to know that you're really seeing it and you liked it. So be sure to read the post, find something you liked, and say what you liked. Doesn't have to be long, it can be 5 words. Loved what you said about X. At least that gives the algorithm, the LinkedIn algorithm, something to say, oh, you commented on that. And they might even let her know. So all for value. You do want to go follow her. She's amazing. You might see this. I have no idea how you're going to have 1,200. By the way, it could be also a fake. I have been known to click occasionally just to see, but hasn't posted lately. Meaning, and sometimes lately is a year. Sometimes it's only a few weeks. Once in a while, I'm curious. I click. Don't waste your time on them generally, but I have more time than many because I live alone and I'm just here in the house with my little dogs. But it's amazing to me that how many of these you might have been seeing without really noticing it. Not everybody's all that active. That's fine. I can live with that. This is what I don't want you to do. Notice what these 4 all say. The same thing on 4 different posts that they read. Who's it all about? Them. And I'm not really very big on Bitcoin stuff anyways. I don't understand it. Open to a new connections. For goodness sake, they'll do it grammatically correctly at least. But that's not offering value to the author of the post. An appointment employment application is going on with the recruitment HR. Really? The same thing on 4? We see what you commented. I wouldn't in 1,000 years ever want to talk to these people unless they've made a major change. It's enough to make me say, yeah, go away now. And don't send people information like this. Please don't. This doesn't work. I get at least 3 of these a week. My picture makes me look reasonably good. Hello there. With due respect, I'm sorry. I didn't meant to violate your privacy, but it said that a picture is worth 1,000 words. Go away now. And then, hi dear, how are you doing? Nice meeting you here. Wrong here, but close. I get quite a few that just say hello. I will never link to that person. If you want to talk to somebody, give them a reason, and neither one of these is a very good reason. It's not that they're nasty, it's just that they're being dumb. And that's our first impression of them. And it's good chances I'm not going to be interested in getting to know them. These are old, but they're some of the better ones I've had lately. Experience, one of the other sections. LinkedIn profiles really do need to be personable. Dennis Potoko, I'm part of his Biz Catalyst 360. I'm one of his contributors. Marvelous guy, but talks about changing the world and all that kind of stuff. Chief Reimaginator. I think he made that word up. I don't really care. Speak from the brain and the heart. Make us say, ooh, I'd like to know that person. I don't care what you do here. And I think there are 2 or 3 more sections they added. Whatever you deem it to be. I've had people say, my education came from the hard road I walked. Okay, good. This one is the one I think is really good. Endorsements can be helpful. Recommendations, they can all be helpful, but they don't have to be explained. They're at the bottom. If you can get a few people to fill in some things for you, great. So that's the physical. I think that's the last. Oh, this is part 2. Wait a minute. No, okay, we have I meant to take that out. Well, this is what we'll talk about in the second section. All these bits and pieces. You can tell you how far I went into this one this morning, Pam. So, did this at least give you a better understanding of some of the important places? Because that would be my goal here, to help you see what you can change, to really, oh, good, you changed, Courtney, I like that. You got the whole name there. Under your picture here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm amazed that a lot of people don't do that either. And I think it's really helpful. I'm Susan Rooks, the Grammar Goddess. And if I don't see it in somebody else's version of this, I'm immediately going to do just what you did. Fill it out completely. Give people a chance to say, oh, okay, now I get it. Versus a first name only or type thing. So yeah, good for you.
Yeah.
You're welcome. All right, you ready for the second part? All right. Get out of that. Let me go. I think I have to get out of this one. Now, hang on, because this is where it's going to be fun. Share. I don't want to share that. I want to get out of this. I want to hit, I want to share screen. Go find the other one. Oh, shoot. Home. No.
You have it in file? Do you have another file right in this same program? Or is it on your desktop?
It's on my desktop. Okay, stop share. Let's start with that probably. Share screen. Yeah, there we go. Okay, desktop. Give me desktop. Desktop. Machine. Give me a break. You can tell what I'm really good at. Oh, share. Okay, share. That's not the one I want to share. Come on. Okay, there we go. Desktop. Thank you, desktop. Okay, there we go. Come on, baby. Come on. Up and at 'em. Yes. Got it. Okay. All right. Whew. Honestly. Okay. These are the things we'll talk about. And I put the word mentioning next to tagging because that's what LinkedIn is now calling it. They're saying you were mentioned in a comment. Okay, well, that's because somebody tagged you. I'll show you how in a minute. All right. I don't know whether you're working on a desktop or a laptop or a phone. I work on a desktop, and I've also got my iPhone. And I know that sometimes what you see here, this is desktop. Some of this will be on the bottom on a phone. but the point will be still the same. You're going to see a menu bar with all kinds of things you can do. And you've seen this before. It starts with the search. You can search for a type of person or a company, specific ones. I do this all the time. I'll just type Pam's name in because I can't find her for some reason. And it comes up, Pam Snell. And I say, okay, yeah, that's the one I want. Home, that's right here. And that's, you can tell where you are because it'll be underlined. I was on the home screen when I was doing this. And that'll be at least give you, oh, I'm right here. It's the home screen. And if you get all confused with everything, just go back and click on that and start again. My network. They changed it back to where it should be. They'd moved it. And I was going to hurt them. Yes. My network, I always figured, should be in notifications. In my network, they moved it over here for 3 months. Luckily, it's back in my network. Whoa. And if you click on that, you will see if anybody is asking to either follow you or connect with you. I can't say his first name. Follows you and is inviting you to connect. There is no rule that says you must say yes. You say yes if you want to. My thought is you go and you check him out. You go to his page and you say, who is this person? Does he have anything going on? Does he have any connections? 4 whole connections. Whoa. Does he seem real? Because there are a lot of fake profiles out there. A lot. And some of them are scammers. So really, go check it out. If anything, you don't want to connect with them, ignore it. What's nice is they don't know you ignored. If you say, I accept, then they get a note. If you simply click ignore, then they don't, which this is one of the few things LinkedIn does really well. I would not want to get a message saying, she's ignoring you. That would be hard to see. So you click on my network and you see, oh, okay, let me check it out. I liked what Sophie wrote. She wrote a little bit of a reason to want to link with me. It's not required. Doesn't hurt. I'll go back to that in a minute. Back to home. Jobs. There are jobs you could apply for. I've tried a couple of times for editing for some people. Haven't gotten them to call me back, so it's like, yeah, good. But there might be. Messaging. This will come from your first degree connections. I'll explain that in a minute. Most of the time. Private messages from them. And if you see a number under it, you want to find out who they are. Notifications. Clicks and comments on your posts or others. If somebody that you know clicked on somebody else's post, you may find that out. Otherwise, you might never have known about it. Me, oh gee, that's you. There is a drop-down menu that I'm not going to explain. You can read it and see. Work, LinkedIn products. Some are free, some are for money, some are not. Learning. Now, I have a paid subscription, so I'm not going to swear that the learning is on yours. But that's okay. I pay because, again, I don't want to be told, no, you can't have that many. So here's what we get. You get notifications up here. You may also get new posts or new notifications. Why they have to do 2, I'm pretty sure I'd be okay if they just put a number up there and I'd see it. But LinkedIn does what LinkedIn does. So if you see the blue one, you do need to click on this. If you don't even see it, you just see that, just click and find out who wanted you to know about them. I love LinkedIn, mostly. Let me move this over. Why is this so big? Machine, move this over. Thank you. A little bigger. Where are we? Mentions. This is brand new. So that's why I have to have it in my page now, because it used to be called, actually, we weren't told that. They just would say somebody tagged you. Tagging, I'll explain in a few minutes. But mentions, it's nice to see. So Fred mentioned me, see, in a comment. Say, that's a pretty darn good word, Lady Susan Rooks. This is one of my fun things to put out there. He mentioned me in it by tagging me. So the LinkedIn algorithm said, oh, we should let her know that. Doesn't happen every single time, but it happens a lot now. Maybe they're trying to tighten it up. But this is the word mentions, meaning they tagged. Promise you'll find that out. God love him. I put it up right up here. This is critical. If you want to make sure, as much as we make sure of anything in LinkedIn, that somebody's going to know you used their name in their comment or in their post, you have to put the @ symbol in front of it. It does no good to write my name, Susan Rooks. The algo goes right past it. It's like writing blah, 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 blah. No meaning. @ symbol, no space, then start their name. Now, will you get it every time? Nope. There are times when I can't even tag you when you're my first degree connection, and I can't answer it. I don't know why. It's annoying, but it's also technology. Notice you should get a drop-down menu. And if it's really working well, the first one that you want should be the first one. Good luck with that. But, so you might write something like this when you're doing it. Love your article, value to the author, comma, @ John White MBA, my guy that got me here, especially the part where blah, whatever. When you post it, it'll look like this. There'll be a live link. The @ sign goes away, and there's a live link that somebody could click and find out more about John. But the algorithm will also let John know, hopefully, that he was mentioned in a comment. And that's really nice because you want people to think, isn't that nice of you to do that? You know, I'm very grateful. Thank you. But they won't know if you don't do the @ sign. So I saw a post by John White MBA and want to share my experience. I can put that in my content too. When I do a post, I just write, and I'm sharing something about John. And again, you would only see this, but at least you'd see it. And he'd see it if the algo is not sick that day. Sometimes you won't be able to tag someone. I don't know why. Most annoying thing, I think she's a first degree connection. This one should be a no-brainer. Sometimes I've tried to get Pam. I can't even find you in the list of 8 or 9 Pams. It's like, hello, machine. It's very strange. What you can try is, John White's such a generic name, at least in English in America. I do John White, comma, MBA, because that is his full name on LinkedIn. And once in a while, that actually works better. There are at least 1,000 users with his name. So sometimes I don't get him in at all. Once in a while, I will just keep the @ sign, publish the comment or the content, whatever. And then I immediately go back and edit it. And sometimes that works. Don't ask, I don't know. Most of the time, this will work. But it's a nice thing to do because somebody can say, oh, wasn't that nice? She was thinking about me. And then maybe some people will go and check out John's profile and say, ooh, I want to link to him too. Kindness pays off. This is the kindness pays off page. I call it smart networking. Why would people not want to network with you when you're being so darn nice? When you're sharing with your people about them, they would. And then maybe they'll reciprocate, come back to you. So this is something I learned in BNI too, back in the day, Business Network International. Yeah, do it for other people. But here's my inner 8-year-old. I think we've all got it. The little kid is hoping to be chosen for the 3rd grade class, whatever's, and wasn't. I was one tough little kid. I'm 77 years old. I grew up in the 50s, and little girls were supposed to be sweet, quiet, and pretty. I almost got pretty. I didn't get the other, not even close. And I wasn't chosen a lot. And that little girl is still in here. I keep her squashed, but once in a while. If you tag 20 or 30 or 40, and there's a group I'm in, what they do it routinely, it's called Top Person, makes me crazy. They do 5 comments with 20 names in each one. God almighty. Yes, I go hunting for mine. I just want to make sure they got me. I'd like to be in the first group. That's my 8-year-old. Don't do it. If I tag Pam, it's going to be because it's something either with technology or dental that I think Pam would like to see this particular article because she might not otherwise see it if I don't tag her. That's reasonable. I could tag 2 or 3 people and it would make sense because they like this. I tag Melissa Hughes all the time with anything with the brain because I know she's going to want to see this. I would not tag more than 3 or 4 people because you're going to have people saying, huh, I don't see my name. And it kind of goes, yeah, I know. This little kid can make trouble. Hashtags. Do I love hashtags? They're like having file folders. And I use them. I have my own. You can see the group right here. Now, here's what I want to make sure. Please, if you set these up, you're directing people. And if you go to any one of my posts, you'll see how I've used them. I use the same group in each of the different kinds of posts, because you can go to one of those and see all the rest of the ones I wrote of that thing that you're looking at. Now, it doesn't mean other people can't put the same one in under theirs. They can. This is not exclusive. But I do my Friday Fun Day, the Grammar Goddess, yada, 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 all of these. Notice the capital letters. LinkedIn doesn't use capital letters, but if we do, when we put it in there, screen readers for people who are not able to see it and are deaf and are listening will be able to see what you wrote. If it's just this, look here in the bottom. If it's this, they'll read it as that's a word, which is the name of my funny words. If you do it this way, the screen reader will go, blah, 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 which doesn't help somebody who can't see it. So I've gone back to using all capital letters for the first word of every one of my screenshots, every word that's a real word. Takes another couple of seconds to do it. Big deal. I don't want to exclude someone who's listening and the screen reader can't help them. Again, kindness. And there's a name for that kind of writing, and I forget what it is. Somebody wrote it. I forgot. But to me, these are fun because you can go to any one of them and you can see a bunch of them. Now, Rooks Rocks, I don't have too many other people using that one, which is fine by me. But that gives you a bunch of funny things that I put out there in a row. And if you want to go find them, you can. I'd recommend thinking. You can do business or leadership, but you'll be mixing with a great many other people. On the other hand, maybe you'll be found because they were looking for that person and they saw you. Up to you. But these are file folders, and I love the idea. This is what it looks like when you do it. The tag will give you a live thing. So you've put hashtag episode, Sarah Elkins, a good buddy, and it comes up as a live link. Click on it. Then you're going to go to that particular hashtag. And you can see a bunch of others if you have time to look. Again, she tagged. Now, see, the hashtags show up, but the @ sign does not when you're doing it for a human. Lee Keylock? What the heck that is? Don't know who that is. Lee could be him or her. So it does show up, and this is when you get to say, oh, I should go look at that, or I could look at that, or oh, I should go see who this Lee Keylock is, or what narrative 4 is. It comes up with live links. It helps a lot of people find out what you're talking about. So she put it out there. And again, she knows she's in here. She's filled to death. This is just what it looks like. Last section. Yeah, we're going to run a shade over, but 2 minutes. The connections thing. I don't know how LinkedIn decided. If you see a number of people, when you see somebody's profile and it says 61,000 followers, that does not mean that it's 60,000 connections. There are 2 different kinds. Actually, there are 3. First degree connections is what LinkedIn limits to 30,000. And you'll hear people say, oh, well, she's got more than 30,000 connections, so I can't link to her. That's not automatically true. The aggregate is all of your followers and your first degree connections. So by 61,000, I've only got 9,000 first degree connections out of the 30,000 I'm allowed. So it's possible. I'd still say there's no real bonus in connecting exactly. You can just follow and you'll still see their content. So first degrees are direct ones, meaning I sent Pam a notice and said, Pam, would you like to connect with me? And Pam wrote back and said, yes. And LinkedIn went, fine, you're now connected. Second degrees are Pam's first degrees to her, but to me, they're my second, like kissing cousins, that kind of thing in families. Third degrees are the first degrees of your second degrees. They're still kind of connected, but not exactly. Followers are very often people who don't even put out original content. So they have no particular reason to connect with you, and I probably wouldn't connect with them if I didn't see them doing anything, even commenting. But maybe they don't want you to see it. Maybe they think you can't have it because you have more than 30,000 followers. Yeah, it's possible if you really, really want to. But if it's somebody that's got more than 30,000, my suggestion is Very simple. Send a note with it. Give them a reason to say, yeah, I could connect with her. I could connect with him. Kurt, love him to pieces. Now he's got more than this. Is an old picture. Limits to 30,000 first degrees. Number of followers includes people strictly following and the first degrees. You'll never know the difference. You will not see the difference. That's private to you. So don't be put off automatically by somebody who's got more than 30,000. If you really want to try, see what they say. Yeah, check with them. There are more scammers out now. And Pam, you just put something out. Yeah, that I'm going to get to you on that, because I'm hearing it from a lot of other places too. A lot of scammers. I mean, I've had one guy that said he was a mighty, mighty person in one of the Arab countries. He had 5 followers. Likely enough, he's not what he says he is. But we have to decide. There's no automatic reason that you should accept somebody. If you think you should, fine, do it. If you don't want to, click ignore. They won't know. Luckily, will not send the inviter a note about that. I have reported an occasional profile that I've looked at and got, oh, give me a break. Really? I saw your picture on another profile. Stupid. Yes. And you may get back, and you can write to LinkedIn help. You may get a note back saying this whatever you're trying to tell them does not violate our policies. But if it is literally the same picture on 2, yeah, that violates their policies. I usually get an answer. LinkedIn help's been very good for me, but you can report it. And the last one, I think here, you can follow. And when you click more, you get your invitation is almost on its way. That's what you get today. I have no guarantee in tomorrow. You can add a note. You're not required to, but it's a good idea if you really want somebody to say, oh, that was nice. I should go look at her and see. Again, things I said, but I like to put them in writing too, so that you have a chance to see them. This is the last section, I think. Building. Homepage. Click to create. Up here. You can create this is the new form. Photos you can put in, videos, audios, or write an article. You can click and do it. Number of characters. Okay, here's the only thing about a post. Once you've published it, you cannot edit the picture. You have to take the entire thing down. So I've done that. I've copied my text, held onto it, deleted the whole thing, put it back in, put the text in, and then put a new picture in. I don't like to do that. It's a pain in the neck. But with an article, you can do anything you want. With a post, they still limit you. Long form articles, no limit of anything. You can have a million pictures. You will always want to have a picture at the very tippy top to draw people in, but you can put pictures in an article. Don't ask. I don't know why they do it differently. No idea. And then Michelle Gilder, she's the gal I just did this whole thing for last week. Hope she's going to start picking up more people. The secret sauce, commenting. What I'm hearing from people like Jeff is it does matter. If you comment first and then click on the emojis, it's a stronger signal to the algorithm. Just take this seriously. So I'm finally not just clicking like, I'm writing a comment and then going back and clicking like or insightful or whatever else I think that post was. But either way, just clicking like isn't adding a whole lot of value to the author. A few words of a comment, if you really, and by the way, you get seen. So you see, commenting is good because then people see you and think, oh, I should go look and see what Helena's doing today. I want to see if I find her. If you just click like, nobody sees it. Nobody, no, like, yeah, good. Yeah, that was the last one. Okay. Yeah, we did run over. Oh, well, actually, it was just 2 hours, just an hour by the time we started. Did this help?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
And I know it's a ton of information, but you're going to get this in a PDF so that you can go back to it and check a page out and say,